So they asked us to get services at home to help with, the water problem. And at that time, I was very happy to get the services, and I thought, someone's going to help me finally. And so me and my husband went in there and sat with the social worker for 4 hours and filled out all the paperwork that we needed to fill out. And we rushed home to make sure we got home before the bus with our son got here. And later on, I got a letter in the mail denying me for those services, telling me that they needed more information, which is stuff the school was supposed to send, not stuff that we had. So I called up and I asked what was going on, and they had said that the social worker was out, and when she came back, that she would fix the problem. And when she came back, she called me and told me she was very sorry and she would fix the problem. Well, then in July, I got another letter telling me that our services were denied again because they didn't get the information that we needed. So I went to a meeting and talked to the principal, and I told her that, we didn't want to get the services, that we were okay with taking care of him, that I loved to do what I was doing, and that I'm always every day helping him and teaching him how to talk, teaching him more eating foods, different foods to eat. We were going for walks, we were exercising, we were doing all kinds of stuff, and really just trying to work with him. And she sat there and said that she was like amazed about how I was talking about my son and how much I loved him, and she could see that, she couldn't believe how, with everything that I go through, that I just say I don't mind doing this. And then that year we got a donation from the school because we were going to start up our own company. I was trying to start up our own company, the property preservation company I was telling you that we own now. We couldn't afford, we were waiting for our income tax, and then when our income tax came in, we spent everything on that to get the business going, and we had $300 in our account after that and had to wait an entire month to get paid, and we're only paid $345 for doing $4,000 worth of work. So we did, somebody at the school donated $2,000 to us so that we could have a good Christmas for our kids and have some money to get the business going. So, oh, sorry, I got distracted. This is a terrible story too. This is actually my granddaughter that I never get to see because the mother decided to leave the father and then came back to the father, but doesn't like anybody else in the family for some reason, and it's just a terrible story. But so anyway, the services. Okay. When we weren't getting the services and we decided that we were doing good without them, and we're doing everything. We do everything with our kids. We go down the shore, we go to Longwood Gardens, we go to the parks, we go to the stores, we go to restaurants, we go to family, we just go for drives. I mean, we stayed down the shore for the weekends. We've gone to Great Adventure for like um, seasons. We had season passes, Great Adventure. We took them to Disney World. Um, we do so much for them, and we now own our own home. Um, it's a modular home in a park. It's like a development, but it's a park, and it's pretty. It's pretty nice here. It reminds you of being like in a campground, and then and it's like farmland, country land, and I absolutely love it here. Um, so, we do. Here's that girl I was telling you about. So, I, I just absolutely love my kids. I love my son, and he's sitting here right now looking at me and waving at me. And it is 3:15 in the morning. I think everything that's going on right now is changing him. I know it's changed me. I don't have a very, good feeling right now about the way things are turning out, but I really think that I need to get a lawyer. I don't know. That's why I'm putting my story out there. Maybe other people will have the same thing that I'm going through. I do know of a family that I am very good friends with. I met her before I met my husband, a year before I met my husband, at a job, and we had such, like, we were like really good friends. And when I left the job to go to the job where I met my husband, we lost touch with each other, and then found out after I moved into the apartments with my husband, we found out she lived at those apartments. Then when we moved, we lost each other again, and she found my apartment, my house. Everywhere we went, everywhere we moved, this girl would find me. So we were like meant to be friends. And then one day I saw her come out of a store, and she had a boy with her, and it was about the same age as my older son, and she was finding out that he had autism, and I was finding out at the same time that there was something wrong with my son, that we, they came over and saw him and told us that he had autism, and of course my husband didn't like that. He wasn't very happy, and so, but it was true. We found out he had autism. So as this boy grew up, he had, her son had a very hard time, and they had a very hard time, and they never gave up on anything, and they had a hard time with the same school that I'm in. And then when he's 17 years old now, and they actually had DIFUS called on them. My son is 16, DIFUS was called on him, and I talking to another lady that I met living in the town that I lived in Fairview, where we grew up with the kids, and that's where I grew up. I grew up in that house that you saw. I grew up there. My mother and my uncle grew up there, and then I raised my kids there for 7 years, and the neighborhood got so bad we had to leave. So, I just forgot what I was saying about that, but, this is where I live when it snows. So,